red day here at the nation's capital, but it's good to have you join us on African Free Press Television. My name is Arite Fan. I'm here with the news update at dawn. Good morning, Africa. The Nigerian Army has, through the review panel which began sitting in Kaduna on August 17, reinstated over 2,500 soldiers who were forced to withdraw from service for alleged violations committed during counter-insurgency operations codenamed Operation Zaman Lafia. Also screened and reinstated are 102 officers who were sentenced or facing trial in relation to operations in the Northeast. Investigations show that the reinstated soldiers and officers have begun retraining at the Nigerian Army Training Center, Katangora, Niger State. The 2,500 soldiers were among over 4,000 who responded to a memo from the Army Authority inviting soldiers for a review of recent disciplinary cases which originated from counter-insurgency operations. Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petitions will on Wednesday begin a probe of the chairman of Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Ibrahim Lamode, over an allegation of fraudulently diverting over 1 trillion naira proceeds of corruption recovered by the agency. Part of the money alleged by petitioner to have been diverted by Lamode include the loot recovered from a former governor of Bayelsa State, Diepriye Alamesia, and ex-inspector general of police, Tafa Balogun. The petitioner, Mr. George Ubo, whose complaints to the Senate prompted the probe, has also been invited to appear before the Senate committee at the National Assembly Complex, Abuja, by 10 a.m. on Wednesday. Yoruba Social Cultural Group, Afenifere, has said that President Muhammadu Buhari is not working towards executing recommendations of the report of the National Conference organized by the immediate past administration of Dr. Goodluck Jonathan. Leader of the group, Ruben Fasorati, stated this in Akure, Ondo State's capital, while briefing journalists on the state of the nation. Fasorati also alleged that Buhari and most chieftains of the All Progressives Congress opposed the conference, noting that the only way to restructure the country was for the government to implement the Confab report. He explained that the conference formed the blueprint for the future and betterment of Nigeria, noting, however, that the group would not keep quiet until the report was implemented. Nigeria's economy may be heading for trouble as oil price crashed even lower at the weekend, thereby threatening the 2015 budget and fiscal plan. The international price of crude hit a 6-year low below $40 per barrel, with West Texas Intermediate crude oil futures as low as $39.89, while Brent crude declined further to $45.10 from previous week's level of $48.87 per barrel. Nigeria's sweet crude is similar to the Brent, and it's predicted that prices will crash even further once Iran begins to enjoy its international pardon by pumping more oil into the already saturated markets. This will spell a serious challenge for Nigeria, which is producing less than its projected 2 million barrels daily, thereby increasing the cash crunch and liquidity flow in the economy, with many states still unable to pay salaries. Emergency Management Agency NEMA has advised residents of flood-prone communities in Ohaji, Egbema and Ogwata local government areas of Imo State to immediately relocate to safer grounds. The advice came on the heels of early warnings from relevant federal government agencies, including security organizations, about impending flood that would hit the affected communities. Head of NEMA operations in Imo and Abia States, Dr. Innocent Eziaku, explained that the agency preferred giving the advice early enough to avoid a repeat of the ugly experience of 2012, which sacked several families and submerged so many communities in the affected local government councils. According to Ghana Medical Association, doctors in Ghana have suspended a strike over working conditions after 3 weeks. GMA says government has failed to define work conditions for medical staff, including overtime pay, but that its members would return to work as talks continue. The decision will come as a relief to President John Mahama's government, which is under pressure to control spending in line with an international monetary fund deal aimed at reviving economic growth in the country. Unions argue that salaries in the country are being undermined by inflation of nearly 18%, and Mahama said on Wednesday that he would not be pressurized into spending more than had been budgeted for the year. 3 Ugandan soldiers have been charged over the killing last month of a group of civilians in Somalia. Maman Sidiku, head of AU in Somalia, apologized to families of the 7 people killed in the attack. The AU had previously denied that the incident took place According to the campaign group Human Rights Watch, AU troops from Uganda began shooting at men at a wedding party after coming under fire. Witnesses say the troops entered several houses in Maka, 70 kilometers south of the capital, Mogadishu, after a grenade attack on their convoy. AU troops have been in Somalia since 2007, helping various UN-backed governments fight the Al-Shabaab militant group. Oil prices have slumped to a 6-year lows as global stock markets continue to fall on concerns over a slowing Chinese economy. Brent and US crude futures fell below $45 and $40 a barrel respectively as global investors assess the contagion risk of China's volatile stock markets. Recent data had suggested that China's economic growth continues to slow down. China's slowdown is expected to pull down other regional economies, affecting energy and raw material consumption. The unstable Chinese market has also led to worries that the problems in the world's second-largest economy may have far-reaching global consequences. For the first time in the history of Saudi Arabia, women can begin registering to vote this week. Since the 1930s, the official religion of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has been a strict Salafi interpretation of Sunni Islam. Based on this interpretation of the religion, Saudi Arabia employs an informally established guardianship system over women. According to local media, women will be able to vote and run in elections which will hold in December this year, marking a step forward for proponents of women's rights in the country that has received heavy criticism for its treatment of women. According to a Saudi government website, official voter registration began on August 22 and candidate registration begins on August 30. Both days will mark first for women in Saudi Arabia anxious to participate in elections this year. Women will only participate in elections at the municipal level. Saudi Arabia's move could also bring the country closer to one of its strongest allies, the United States, which has condemned Saudi Arabia's treatment of women for years in various reports. For more news, you can visit our website www.africanfreepress.com. Like African Free Press on Facebook and follow at African Free Press on Twitter. My name is Arit Efana. Good morning, Africa.